All right guys, how's it going today? So today I'm going to talk about my 2024 TAC arrow setup. This year I'm going for affordability, lightweight, with no componentry up front. Those are kind of the three criteria I set for myself. In the past I've done a multi-use setup, so I would use my same arrows that I use for hunting as I did for TAC. I just wanted the consistency of shooting that. I knew exactly how this arrow comes off my bow. I hunt with it, I shoot 3D with it. But it does get a little expensive, especially depending on what arrow that you set up. In the past, I actually started off with the Easton hex arrow, super lightweight. I never hunted with this arrow, but I kind of started off with shooting a specific 3D arrow. I love this arrow. It's lightweight, it's affordable, but they stopped making it. They stopped making that. My next arrow was the Easton 4mm Access long range. I love this arrow, but up front, you have expensive componentry, especially when you go to stainless steel. There's collars with it. I've seen these things weaken up on the front. There's all sorts of pros and cons with this arrow. Great hunting arrow, great arrow for 3D, especially when there's wind involved with this. It just gets expensive to lose these, and I've lost enough of them, whether they go straight through targets that have been eaten up at TAC, or even shooting just my local ranges, or as we all know, skimming them off of trees, whatnot. They just suck to lose. This year, my hunting arrow that I use for out west and here was the RIP TKO. Love this arrow. This arrow will still continue to be my hunting arrow. A couple years back, Easton did put out the Sonic arrow, which is the 6.0 high velocity arrow. This did replace the Easton hex. So I am going back to a 6mm arrow. What I like about this is I have no componentry up front. It's the hardware that comes with the arrow on this. I'm also able to cut a lot of weight. So my hunting arrows, my Easton 4mm, those run at 475 grains from top to bottom. My rips are running in at 450. They're where I like my arrows to be for hunting in general. I get a little bit of speed and I have penetration with that as well. The Sonics, I wanted to hit high 300s. I wasn't able to do that. So break down specs of my bow. I'm shooting a Matthews lift. The Easton Sonics, we're looking at for a dozen, $156. This is a 7.8 GPI overall. 340 spine. They are match grade 1000s perfect straightness, and I am running the Easton match grade field points on these. These I've liked them so far. They're pretty slick looking. They're actually like a polished gunmetal pewter kind of feel to them. So this is my first year using these. On the back, I am running wraps. I know that adds some weight, but it wasn't enough weight to still get me to those high 300s. And then I am running the DCA Sabres on the back. My first time using these, I've always run the AE Max. These Sabres so far, I absolutely love them. They are extremely quiet. When they're paired up with the lift, with how quiet that bow is, and with these, this is gonna be like the ultimate whitetail hunting setup for me. I'm like super excited. Right now, I've batched up a dozen of these. I've been shooting these things so far out to just 60 yards, testing them. My groups are solid with them. I haven't had any left to right, and I've shot these in the wind too. There's the wind. Wind is going to affect these more. That's the bad thing about these 6mm. But a lot of the TAC events that I've shot, we're typically deep into the woods, so I get a little bit of that break from those crosswinds. Now, if you're in those open shots, I'm sure, depending on where you shoot a TAC, you're going to see that. I typically shoot either PA or Michigan. This total arrow weight, in the end, I was able to get it at 410 grains per inch, so on this whole entire setup. Let me know what you guys think about the arrow choice that I made. I know everyone's got opinion on this stuff, or if you knew a different way that I can get this thing lighter. I will say my arrow is 28.75 inches long on this. I could cut off a little bit. It is a longer arrow than the rest of my arrows, but this is just what was tuning the best with my bow, with its specs and the setups. And then at last, I will be at Total Archery Challenge in PA here in May. So if you're going to that around, I'd love to meet up with you and chat. But until then, keep practicing for TAC. And thanks for tuning in.